journey with no weed. So, I want to welcome everybody
to the most offensive church this side of the universe. I want to welcome everybody to the most offensive church this side of the universe. Wait, don't party Ben. Hello. What we do here is we read this great ass book. It's called God Said. Because God did not say that. Me, right now, in God voice. I didn't say that. Yeah. But this is God's unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by
yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K the Great. Haha. Clap for me, I clap for you. Welcome. Haha. Have a seat. Yeah, go ahead and have a seat. I am going to do a few things because A, I wasn't ready to do them, and B, I wasn't ready to do them, those things that I was doing. Is happening. Yeah, this is what's happening. Yeah. Wait, what is it? Okay, now I know what's happening. Man, my arms are so itchy. Okay, get this. Nasty looking shit all over my arm. Because I was so stressed out, I was digging holes in my arm. And now they're all itchy and shit. I don't know. I'm a dickhead. I think that's what my arm's trying to tell me. You're a dickhead. Thanks for scratching holes in your arm, asshole. Stop being so stressed out. Yeah. But I'm not so much stressed out. I was a little bit stressed out. I made Dustin get McDonald's yesterday. I had a 10-piece chicken McNuggets. I had a Big Mac, large fries, and I stole Dustin's soda instead of drinking coffee. I got coffee right over there. I have cigarettes, but I forgot my cannabis in the other room. So I don't know if I should go get it or not. Okay. So we are on. that's that's what I get for breathing while talking. Man, look. Speaking of choking while I'm trying to explain myself, I don't want to read this last story of Jesus. I don't want to read it. And I don't know if it's God, like, yeah, don't read it. Or if it's like Satan, don't read it. Not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. I am going to keep reading it because I don't know who's telling me not to read it. Well, obviously, we know who's telling me not to read it. So I'm going to read it anyway. But first, I'm going to go get my cannabis because I am just so over this. I'm never reading this story again. I'm never reading the story of Jesus ever again after this because I hate it. Let me go get my weed. Yeah, good smoke. All right. So let's get on to this, shall we? Because I don't want to. Okay, I remember we're on chapter 4, and chapter 4 is very long. Okay. Okay. So, therefore, when the Lord knew that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself did not baptize, but his disciples did. He left Judea and departed again to Galilee, but he needed to go through Samaria. He always goes back to Galilee. So he came to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the plot of ground that Jacob gave to Joe. Now Jacob's well is there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied from his journey, sat by the well. It was about the 6th hour. A woman of Samaria came to draw water, and Jesus was like, "Can I have some of that?" And she's like, "Racism." And Jesus is like, "That don't matter." And Jesus was like, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that says to you, 'I want a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said to him, okay, what do you mean? Where? Where do you get living water? Are you a greater man than Jacob?" Right? And Jesus said, "Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I give him will never thirst again. But the water that I shall give him will become a fountain of water springing up to everlasting life." Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's wild. I know. It's crazy what Jesus said to this lady. And she was like, okay, I want some water. And Jesus is like, go get your husband. And she's like, I don't really got one. I've had a lot of them. And Jesus was like, uh, okay. Well, I mean, you've had 5 of them, but the one you live with now is not your husband because you feel like you're bad luck, which you were at one time, but you're not anymore. And she's like, you're a prophet, and our fathers worship this mountain. And you Jews say in Jewland is the place where one ought to worship. And Jesus was like, listen, listen, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain or in Jewland worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for our salvation is of Das Yuden. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in the spirit. Dun, dun, dun. And the woman was like, yeah, I know that the Messiah is coming. And when he comes, he will teach us all things. Something like that. Jesus definitely taught you things, but it doesn't matter because nobody listens to him anyways. Everybody listens to Paul, who does nothing but teach the law and then tell people not to fornicate, even though he is the worst fornicator. Because preachers, pastors, Jews, they all, whatever they rail against is what they're doing. Yep. And Jesus said, I, who you speak of, am he. I am the Messiah. I am the Christian. And at this point, his disciples came and they were marveling that he was talking to a woman because they definitely thought he was gay. But he's talking to a woman and they were like, whoa, dude, what are you doing, man? So the woman got up and left her water pot and went her way into the city and said to the men, come see the man who told me all things that I ever did. Could this be Le Christe? Then they went out of the city and they came to him. In the meantime, his disciples were telling him to eat. And Jesus said, I have food to eat which you don't know. And his disciples was like, what? That's not a thing. What? Who gave him food? How dare them give him things without us knowing it? Because for some reason we think we're his managers because we manage Jesus. Yeah, words and things. And Jesus said, my food is to do the will of him who sent me and finish his work. Do you not say There are still 4 months when the harvest comes. Behold, I say to you, lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest. And he who reaps will receive wages and gathers fruit for eternal life, both he who sows and he who reaps may rejoice together. For this saying is true: one sows and another reaps. I sent you to reap that for which you have not labored. Others have labored, and you have entered into their labors. So you're going to be a thorn in people's side. You are going to be disturbing the peace, my good sirs. And then you're going to be hurt for it. But don't worry about it. It'll be great, and you'll love it, and you'll rejoice that you got to disturb the peace. Again, I forgot to turn the music on. And many of the Samaritans of that city believed in him because of the word of the woman who testified. He told me everything I ever did. So when the Samaritans had come to him, they were like, stay with us. And he was like, 2 days. And more believed because of his own word. Is this why everybody believes Paul? Because he himself said all these things happen. Then they said to the woman, now we believe not because of what you said, but we ourselves has heard him. And we know he is Le Christ, Savior of the world. They did not say that. Now, after the 2 days, he departed from there and went to Galilee. For Jesus himself testified that that a prophet has no honor in his own country. So, and Jesus, that's only you, buddy. It's only you. So when he came to Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all the things he did in Jewland at the feast, the first Passover. For they also had gone to the feast. So Jesus came again to Cana, where he turned the water to wine. And there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. And when he had heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went to him and implored him to heal his son, for he was at the point of death. And Jesus said, unless you see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe. But the Samaritans didn't have to see anything. 1 second. Sorry, that was my mom. So Jesus was like, so you guys don't believe unless you see a sign. That's fine. The nobleman was like, yeah, but my son, you know, like, and then Jesus was like, you believe. And the dude was like, yes, I believe. And he's like, your son is fine. Then he inquired of them the hour that he got better. And they were like, as soon as you said he was okay. This again was the second time or the second sign Jesus did when he had come out of Judah into Galilee. So Jesus only did two signs so far. I think so. I don't know. But I do know. Oh, son of a bitch. I do know I gotta call my mom back. Where did my fucking phone go? Well, that was weird. There's my weird. Oh, there's my phone. Anyway, I'm stupid. But I gotta call my mom back. So I gotta go. I want to thank you for watching, and maybe I'll be back after I get off the phone with my mom so we can catch the. Oh, well. So we can watch JCW from last week so we can be on time for this week. Well, so we'll know the storyline this week. It'll be amazing. So thank y'all for watching. Where are we gonna go to? Oh, well, there ain't nobody live. Oh shit. Yeah, wrong one. Well, there ain't nobody live. Except for who cares? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'll be back in a little bit, maybe with some wrestling.